The Sabre Turbo Custom, one of my secret weapons for drift cars in the game, as the regular Sabre Turbo has always been a very fun car to drift and very capable. However, the Benny's variant of the Sabre Turbo Custom has a more powerful speed boost, more power overall, and does everything just a bit better. This car begs to be driven sideways, and it's damn good at it, making it one of the funnest cars in the game. It's always been one of my all-time favorites, which is why I am very excited to check out the new Bravado Gauntlet Custom that we can now customize over at Benny's. Especially because the standard Bravado Gauntlet is one of the best looking and best designed muscle cars in the game, in my opinion. But when it comes to the driving experience and drifting, the thing is unfortunately gutless and useless, as when you activate the speed boost, literally nothing happens. It will not even lay down an inch of rubber activating that speed boost. Combine that with having a very poor angle for the handling characteristics of the car, and that makes for no fun when it comes to power sliding and drifting. But hopefully that all changes today, as we're going to be customizing the new Gauntlet Classic Custom over at Benny's. And I'm really hoping that this thing will get sideways and will burn rubber as a muscle car should. Alright, time to upgrade this to its evolution. The upgrades are on sale this week. It's usually 815 grand. Combine that with the price of the vehicle of 615,000, and we're all in for right around 1.4 million. And there it is. Thank you, Benny's, and thank you, Rockstar, for another magnificent vehicle. I love that front end. I think all of us can agree on that. So for going on a drift build, you're going to want to avoid armor if you want to make a drift build as well. And of course, I always put my race brakes on these high performance machines.
You won't have trouble stopping.
Let's see what we can do to the bumpers, starting with the front. Can do a secondary color. Single vent changes the mesh down there. Can do that in secondary. Then we've got the quad, which adds some more area for that mesh. Can do that in secondary. Twin vented. A lot of changes on the mesh, not the actual bumper. There we go. We've got a twin inset between those pop-up headlights, which I love. Can get that in secondary. And then we've got a broad insert or inset, wider opening. And finally, a smaller inset on the nose. And I am all about my mesh and more openings for ventilation for the motor, but with the front end this beautiful, it really is a work of art, smooth from the factory. So I'm going to go with one of these guys down here with the quad vented nose cone.
That's the look.
Let's move to the rear of the vehicle, see what we can do back here with a primary bumper. Yes, please. Can do that with overriders. Bolted bumper with overriders and bolted custom setup. And while that is nice options for a more of a drag car, I'm going to keep it clean with the primary bumper.
Don't she look pretty?
See what we can do for the chassis, starting with some aerials. Ah, look at that. I do have a soft spot for these antennas. Reminds me of when I was a kid and cars actually had pop-up antennas that would go up and down out of the trunk and all that. Question is, left or right? Let's leave it on the right, out of my visibility. Okay, rear cover. Oh man, nah, I gotta leave that as is. I love that accent, especially for the Gauntlet AC emblem back there. Roll cage. Can do a primary or secondary half cage. Primary full or secondary. Or if you want to put some padding on there, you can do that as well. Luckily for us, I am a professional drifter in this game, so I will leave it with more of a stock look. Sun strips. Okay, we can put on a regular sun strip, primary or secondary. And I think I'll go with this standard sun strip. I may check back here. I'm sure it's going to change with the liveries once we put some liveries on. But for now, we'll go with this. Engine. Oh, that's disappointing. So there's no options for the block or the air filters or anything. That is a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. But nonetheless, level 4. Get that acceleration up. Alright, exhaust. These exhausts are beautiful. I remember really liking it from the standard Gauntlet Classic as well. But let's see what else we can do with titanium. Anodized. Can do box exhaust. Not for me. Aluminum. Ooh, how does that compare to stock? Yeah, I do like that. Okay, that's an option. And we can do the side exit. Like on the 60s and 70s Corvettes. Classic for the muscle cars. Titanium side box if you want to go with more of a modern look. And a standard side box exhaust. And I do prefer these slightly over the stock, so we'll go with the aluminum. Moving on to the fenders. Ooh, some vents. That's always cool. Oh man, you can go down low too, but below that Gauntlet AC emblem. Can do chrome, carbon, even lower, right down by the wheel. I like that also. Some really good options. Look at the lines on that. That definitely adds some elegance. And you guys know me and my elegance. That might have to happen. Can do carbon. Stock rear fenders. Okay, that's what's equipped now. Oh, you can only choose from... That's unfortunate. It would have been nice if you could have done one option for each, for the front and rear. Well, you leave me no choice, Rockstar. I'm going with the Gauntlet vents for the rear.
That's what you was looking for.
Ooh, look at this. Headlight covers. Oh man, I gotta see those pop up one more time. I've got such the biggest soft spot for pop-up headlights. Hello, I am ready to drive. That's what it always says to me when those pop up. Alright, so we can do black, secondary, primary topped. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. You can change the top of them on the housing. Black primary topped, black secondary topped. And the cars that I've always owned in my younger days had the black plastic trim with the stock paint on top, so I'm gonna leave it as that. Reminds me of my old RX-7s, Mazda Miatas, 240SX. Very cool. And this stock hood is gonna be hard to beat. Is that a shaker cover? Can't really see if that is, but either way, this stock hood is really nice. Let's check out the nose accessories. You can do a lip here, in primary or secondary. Ridge line, very similar. Very small additions to the front nose. And again, I'm gonna leave this sleek and smooth on the front up here. Hood catches. This I may be interested in. Moves them back a few inches. Can do primary or secondary, or the modern or angled hood latches as well. And this is one modern touch that I am okay with, so
Got a genuine black right there.
put those angled latches on. And the hood itself. Oh man, no, I really like that cutout. Can do a carbon ridgeline hood. No, it's gonna be tough to beat that stock hood for me. That is interesting. I think I've seen something similar on one of the muscle cars in the game. Maybe the Sabre Turbo or the Phoenix or the Ruiner. Definitely rings a bell. Deep inset hood. if you want to go more of a smooth look all around. And of course, we gotta have us some blowers on this bad boy. Got the twin air filters on top. Ooh, I like that a lot. That is very tempting for more of a drag racing build. Of course, we've got the oval intake. And my favorite, the one that has those flaps that actually activate. But I had a feeling since the beginning it would be stock hood for me. Alright, interior. See what we can do to the dash. Oh, wow. So we can go with a street interior. Wish I could see exactly what's going on. There's some metal floor mats almost down on the bottom. Looks like we got some Bravado floor mats, which I always love though. And can do a rally dash, fully flocked rally dash, or carbon. And again, I really love the touches of the floor mats, the wood grain on this interior, so I'll leave it stock. Dials. Oh, hells yes. Ooh, got our air-fuel ratio, oil pressure, boost gauges. Yes, please. Can go with the tack or the tack and the dash gauges. That is an instant purchase from me. All right. Love wood grain on older cars. Can do aluminum racing panels, carbon, lightweight, aluminum lightweight, or carbon lightweight. And if you want to go a full race or drag build, would maybe go this route. Maybe have two of these cars. I am loving what I see so far. Gonna leave it stock on this one. And got some options for the seat if you want to go with racing, rally, or any of these bucket seats. Got a few options here. Gonna leave mine stock for this build. One thing every drift car needs is a good racing steering wheel. So this is a modern touch I do not mind adding. And I think I'm gonna go with the Sprint Lightweight. No option to change the gauges themselves, but we can change the color. And I'm gonna go with a diamond blue, as it does help with the visibility. Can really get a good look at these. Moving on to the lights, we can change those to a xenon if we want. I'll probably change these to hyper white in the arena workshop, but for now, we will leave them as is. Livery. All right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Starting with the stamped Bravado. Adds a black two-tone on the front, the Bravado logo on the rear fenders. Goes really nice with that black trim piece in the back. Oh man. I've seen this 1,000 times in pictures, but it's always so much more powerful in the game. Can go with the classic white gauntlet, the black gauntlet as well. Can get that in red. Number 36 Baracho. Very, very clean racing setup for this livery. All the sponsors. Number 58 Rally Racer. That is definitely more retro. I like the tan on top. Beautiful, beautiful liveries on this guy. Number 81 Bill Gecko. Love the lines on the front with the Bravado front and proud dead center. All these sponsors above the front wheel on the front fender. Oh, and we've got the Gauntlet AC on the rear. Did it have that for the other ones? No. Just the Bill Gecko has that Gauntlet AC, the famous livery back there. Can do the number 83 Demon Oil. That is stunning as well. I absolutely love every single one of these, which is going to make it a very hard decision on which one I'm going to go for. Again, that styling on the front, how that comes through the center. And last but not least, number 3, Hot Shot Tenshun. Got some flame action, the Tenshun on the rear fender. Number 3. And again, I love the use of that front livery, that decal. Love that design. And I was going to go with the classic white Gauntlet livery, but we are doing a drift build. And I'm always on the conservative side, so what do you say we go a little bit more on the race livery, still maintaining that Gauntlet logo, that famous Gauntlet AC on the rear fenders.
Don't scratch it now.
All right, over the halfway mark now for the 30 customization options. Got some options for the mirrors. Can do chrome, secondary, bullet mirrors. Oh man, it's like the old police cars. Can get those in primary or secondary also. Very tempting, but I will leave them as is. License plate. Either go with a yellow on black or yellow on blue. Let's go with the blue. It's more of a retro plate. And you know we got to go with either sideways or burn rubber. And this is a little bit more muscle car-esque, so let's put that on. Moving on to the respray options, let's check this out in a few different colors. You're going to be seeing a lot of Fast and the Furious builds with a sunset red. Looks damn good as well. Very tempting, but I am going to go another direction as this is going to be all over the internet. But you cannot go wrong with sunset red. Of course, this Mariner blue really reminds me of the old Plymouth Superbird or the old Plymouth Roadrunner. A classic throwback to an amazing car, amazing work of art for its time. And the Mariner blue is doing it justice. As for me, I'm going to go with a more menacing moss brown. Looks more green to me, but when we get outside, you'll really see it come to life. Very underrated color, easy to overlook it, but does some really good justice to some of these older muscle cars in the game. Especially when you add a gold pearlescent over that moss brown. And we can change the trim color, which is always one of my favorite attentions to detail in this game. And I find that for this color I've got on it, it looks really nice in a sienna brown. Moving back outside the vehicle, a few options for the roof. We can do primary, which is what we have. A vinyl roof, which would get rid of all of my beautiful liveries up there. Or a carbon roof, so we will leave that as is. Some options for these skirts. Custom skirt. Didn't see anything change. Okay, goes from chrome to primary. Definitely I'll take that. Can do secondary, ridged skirt, and then primary or secondary. And last up, the competition skirt, which I do like, but not as much as the ridged skirt. See what we can do for these splitter options. That goes down below, down by the mesh vents down there. Ooh, look at that. Can put a Bill Gecko. Well, I guess it depends on the livery you have. Can do a pointed one, no livery for that option. Twin wedged. And that is interesting to say the least. Or full, primary full wedged. And just notice we have some liveries on the headlight housings, those pop-up headlights. That is cool. So I am going to go for one of these splitters with the logo. Not the split one. It's going to be between the full wedged or the panel splitter. And let's go with the gusto, huh? Let's go all out with the full wedged.
That's it.
Now I know some of you guys are going to say it's a cardinal sin to put a spoiler on a drift car, which in most cases I would agree with. It does affect the traction, but not by as much as some people might think. Some people think to seem that it ruins the drifting, but I would say it's a very small difference, maybe 5 to 10%. It's not like it's going to be 50, 60% of a difference. Look at these options, man. Can we take a second to appreciate these spoiler designs on the new Gauntlet Custom? Wow. And yeah, I am gonna have to go with one on this drift car because unlike most cars, this is the signature of the Daytona or the Superbird. So I am going to stay true to its roots, go with the primary super spoiler. Let's see how much lower this will go with the suspension options. Can go lowered, street. Please don't camber out the wheels on this muscle car. Okay, good. Competition suspension. It does not angle the wheels out like on the import cars. They've been doing that more and more. As long as that doesn't happen, I'm going to go with the competition suspension. Time to add some faster shift points with the race transmission. And to increase the boost with a turbo tuning.
She's dope.
And these stock wheels are pretty nice, but I am going to put some muscle car rims on so I can paint these the Mercenaries, but I think they'll look even better in gunmetal or black. And gonna go with stone silver for more of a gunmetal look. And get our tire design back on those wheels. And if you want to do a drift build as well, make sure you do not put bulletproof tires on. Leave that alone, as that does affect the drifting and power sliding in the game quite significantly. Can add a wheelie bar if you want to go with more of a drag build. Can do the parachute, the wheelie bar, or both if one is not enough. Oh, windows, of course we can add the tint if you want to tint the windows on this, which I will not. I will leave it as is. And last but not least, we have window plates. I'm assuming that's going to put panels on that back panel right there, or covers. Oh no, even better, we've got louvers. Oh, I'm a sucker for these. Nope, I'm going for these standard louvers. Love, love, love these on older cars. And that is all 30 options for the customization. Definitely have everything you need on if you want to build a drift build like I am, or if you want to do a drag racing build, or even just a classic restoration. One thing I was surprised with is no hydraulics and no subwoofers, no neon lights, any of that stuff. But nonetheless, I am very happy Rockstar added this, as this is a true symbol in the muscle car world, the Daytona, the Superbird. So now it is time to take it outside and check out the new Gauntlet Custom in some more detail. The first thing I tested out on the vehicle, if it can be stanced and lowered by shooting the wheels, and no, it cannot. It will not stance or drop. It looks a lot better in the sunlight, right? I know. Man, let's do a walk around now that we've got her outside. And I just had to go with that spoiler. Even though it's a drift build, it won't affect it much at all. Very, very small. Let's open everything up and see what details open up on the new Gauntlet Custom. Alright, there's that cutout for the hood, so it is a shaker hood. Let's take a look at this motor detail. Not too much detail as we've seen in other models. We've got the shaker hood, spark plug wires, and battery on the right. No headers, but can't complain when we've got a front end like this. Oh man, did you guys hear that? And there's the pop-up headlights that I absolutely love. Looks like the trunk does not open up, but that is all right. Got that giant spoiler on the rear. Got our door panels with the wood grain, and there is our Bravado floor mats with the sienna brown interior I went with. Let's go ahead and hop in, check out the interior. And we've got the racing tack, the racing gauges. Tachometer functions, can see the antenna there that we placed there, wiggling around. Again, the wood grain, the roll-up windows, absolutely love it. All the way to the back with those louvers and that giant spoiler. And now it is time to see if the new Gauntlet Classic can redeem the Gauntlet name for some drifting in the game. Really have my fingers crossed, as really loving this vehicle. So let's start off with some low speed drifting and see if it can hang with the top tier cars in the game. And it looks like we're in luck today, guys, as the Benny's variant of the Gauntlet Classic is laying down some serious rubber in this first test of the low-speed drifting. What I'm getting a feel for now is the balance of the car, if it has any tendencies to oversteer or understeer, which so far it's feeling very good, as well as transitioning left to right through these pillars. Also, the rubber laying down behind the car, want to make sure that it can stay in the drift state in low speed. And all in all, I am very impressed with this first test. So I think it's time to take it to the streets of Los Santos and see how it feels and does with some higher speed drifting. One of the first things you're going to notice when getting behind the wheel of the new Benny's Gauntlet is how powerful the speed boost is. The second thing you're going to notice about it is how difficult it can be to activate it, as if the RPMs are too low, it is going to bog out and not link the speed boosts together. With a hell of a lot more power than the standard Gauntlet, the Benny's Gauntlet makes short work of these intersections with that speed boost, and with having a very good balance between oversteer and understeer, it is very forgiving as well. One thing this car could use is a bit more angle when it comes to drifting. It has a very good balance. You don't have to worry about spinning out in this one compared to other vehicles such as the Mamba, the Banshee 900R. Those are very snappy. They have a very aggressive drift angle. And in the Benny's Gauntlet, not as much, which is a negative for achieving wide drifts, wide angles, but it is a positive for not spinning out once again. Overall, though, I am able to maneuver this guy through traffic, get it to do what I want it to do for the most part when I want it to. And with a speed boost this powerful, again, this is one of the most powerful speed boosts in the game, it is pretty effortless to keep it in its drift state. However, transitioning in and out of high speed and low speed drifting, or linking transitioning drifts, can be a bit tricky, as again, the speed boost is very temperamental to activate it, as it has to be at a higher RPM, and there's less of a range where it will activate, so it does take some driving, some time behind the wheel to get it right. On the one hand, it is a very forgiving car because it does have a perfect balance. It is not oversteering or understeering. On the other hand, it just doesn't have that much of an angle for the drifts. So when you do speed boost into these corners, you really do have to push it a bit harder than you would a car like the Futo or the 900R. But the violent power that it has with the speed boost makes it an absolute blast to take out and get sideways. I think this is my new favorite muscle car in the game, as I've always loved the design and the looks of the standard Bravado Gauntlet. Being so gutless and so lacking in the driving experience made it to where it almost never leaves my garage. So as we can see, the new Benny's Gauntlet redeems the Gauntlet name for drifting in the game. I think it looks absolutely stunning. Rockstar nailed it, 10 out of 10 in the looks department. And if you have any love whatsoever for muscle cars, this is a must-own vehicle. This is one I would say to go out and purchase right away, as you'll be owning one of the most well-known pieces of pedigree from the muscle car world, owning one of the best-looking vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online, and with a total drift score of 47 out of 60 points for everything I break these vehicles down on, you'll be having a blast getting sideways and burning rubber around Los Santos, as you should in a muscle car. And that is going to do it for this video. As always, thanks for watching. I always love doing these vehicle review videos. Ton of fun. And let me know down below what you guys think of the new Benny's Gauntlet. Let me know what you think of the looks, the sound of the vehicle, if you've tried drifting it, how it compares to the other new vehicles in the DLC. And until the next time, you guys stay cool, keep on playing GTA, and I will see you guys very shortly in the next video. H2, signing out.